50 Cent and Eminem exposed Jay-Z and Beyoncé in explosive public clash. For years, Jay-Z and Beyoncé have ruled hip-hop like royalty, untouchable, unshakable, and fiercely protected. Whenever criticism came their way, it was silenced by loyal fans, industry power players, or simply ignored. But now, something has shifted. Two of hip-hop's loudest voices, 50 Cent and Eminem, are tearing down the curtain on the empire, claiming it was built on intimidation, shady deals, and career sabotage. Let's start with 50. Never one to bite his tongue, he's been increasingly vocal about Jay-Z's behind-the-scenes influence. In a recent sit-down, he dropped a bombshell. Jay has been blocking his moves for years, not just in music, but in corporate ventures too. One of the wildest claims. Jay allegedly tried to use his NFL connections to stop 50 from performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. The reason? Nothing concrete, just vague issues with 50. But here's where it got messy. Eminem found out, and refused to perform unless 50 was included. That single demand exposed what was meant to be a quiet power play, and it backfired spectacularly. And this isn't just two rappers venting, it's about control. Who owns the stage? Who decides who shines? Eminem has been calling this out for years. Long before this drama, he blasted the Grammys as a rigged system, inviting artists to boost ratings, hyping them with nominations, then snubbing them on the big night. He even vowed never to attend again, calling the Recording Academy corrupt to its core. Now, with 50 by his side, the cracks in Jay-Z and Beyoncé's empire are being dragged into the light. 50 Cent and Eminem double down, Jay-Z and Beyoncé accused of rigging and career sabotage. Eminem may have sworn off the Grammys for good, but 50 Cent isn't letting it go. He's not just calling out award shows, he's pointing directly at Jay-Z. According to 50, Jay's victories at the Grammys have less to do with artistry and everything to do with his marriage to Beyoncé. The Recording Academy knows exactly what it's doing, he claims. Invite the Carters, hand them a few trophies, and watch the cameras roll, the headlines explode, and the show dominate the trending charts. So when Beyoncé finally scored Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter, not everyone was celebrating. Whispers spread that Jay had pulled strings yet again, working his influence behind the scenes to secure the win. But the accusations don't stop at the Grammys. The darker allegations strike much deeper: career sabotage. For years, insiders have whispered that Beyoncé allegedly blackballed other female artists, names like Aaliyah, Maya, Mary J. Blige, and Carrie Hilson. Talented women who seemed destined for long-lasting stardom, only to fade just as Beyoncé's star was rising. Coincidence? Maybe. But the pattern has fueled suspicion. Even former collaborators like Keisha, Shantae and Amerie have spoken out, claiming songs were stolen, credits erased, or producers poached at pivotal points in their careers. One track, one sample, one shady deal, and suddenly, the spotlight shifts. The unspoken message: step out of line, and you disappear. And perhaps the most telling case. Carrie Hilson. Once on the brink of superstardom, her career nosedived after releasing a song many believed was aimed at Beyoncé. Carrie never confirmed the diss, but the backlash was instant and brutal. The Bayhive attacked relentlessly, but according to industry whispers, the real damage happened behind closed doors. Rumors spread that Beyoncé had allies inside Carrie's own team, people who lined her up for failure. For years, these stories lived in the shadows. People were too afraid to say them out loud. But now, 50 Cent and Eminem are dragging them into the open, daring the industry to face what's been whispered all along. 50 Cent and Eminem blow the lid off Jay-Z and Beyoncé's alleged pattern of silence, sabotage, and power plays. When Carrie Hilson refused to hold a magazine cover featuring Beyoncé and Jay-Z, that was the breaking point. The industry turned ice cold, shows cancelled, calls stopped, and every move forward slammed into a wall. Then came Khalees. When Beyoncé sampled her hit Milkshake without credit or even a warning, Khalees didn't bite her tongue. She blasted the move publicly, saying she found out the same way fans did, online. And when she spoke up, the sample wasn't defended, explained, or apologized for, it was just quietly removed. No acknowledgement, no accountability, just silence. And that kind of silence isn't accidental, it's calculated. It's a warning shot to anyone else thinking about speaking up. The pattern stretches wider. M.I.A., a lesser-known but hugely talented artist, hinted at being blackballed after refusing advances from a powerful industry figure. She never named names, but the dots were clear. She stood her ground, and suddenly her career evaporated, radio silence, closed doors, erased from the charts. 50 Cent and Eminem aren't ignoring these patterns, they're shining a spotlight on them. And they're not alone. Insiders like Jaguar Wright have been sounding alarms for years, calling the industry a system built on silence, intimidation, and control. Wright, who once worked closely with Jay-Z, claims she saw firsthand how ruthless the climb to the top really was. Her biggest bombshell. She insists Jay-Z's rise came at the cost of other artists' lives, careers, and credibility. She points to Harlem legend Big L, one of the rawest lyricists of the 90s, signed to Columbia and rumored to be on the verge of joining Rockefeller. Before that deal could happen, Big L was murdered in a Harlem drive-by. The case remains unsolved. No one has proven Jay's involvement, but the timing raises eyebrows, especially since Jay's career exploded soon after. And it doesn't stop there. Wright argues Jay-Z's path is littered with stories like this, artists who faded, vanished, or died at critical turning points in his rise. DMX is another glaring example. He was Def Jam's backbone with multiple platinum albums, but when Jay took over as president, DMX's 6th album got delayed, allegedly to clear the stage for Jay's own comeback. DMX never trusted it. He called the entire system a trap designed to silence the real voices while rewarding controlled artists who followed the rules. These aren't isolated incidents, they form a bigger picture. An industry where power decides who survives, and questioning the wrong people can end a career, or worse. And standing loud against it now. 50 Cent. He's not just throwing shots, he's daring the whole empire to answer for the silence. 50 Cent says Jay-Z's power moves go beyond music, and even his marriage may be strategic. On multiple podcasts and interviews, 50 Cent has accused Jay-Z of continuing to sabotage him, even though both men are far past the point of competing for chart positions. According to 50, it's not about music anymore. It's about control. He claims Jay still sits in boardrooms, still whispers in the right ears, and still throws up roadblocks when he isn't part of the deal. From media ventures to sports partnerships, 50 says opportunities mysteriously hit obstacles once Jay-Z gets wind of them. That kind of maneuvering would make sense for a young rapper protecting his spot. But Jay? He's already a billionaire with more accolades than most artists could dream of. So why keep going this hard? 50 believes it's insecurity disguised as dominance. Jay doesn't just want to be successful, he wants to be the only one considered successful. In his world, everyone else is either beneath him or a threat. And that leads into one of the most controversial theories out there, that Jay and Beyoncé's marriage isn't just love, it's business. 50 went as far as to call their relationship a contract, suggesting that everything from red carpet appearances to Grammy wins is part of a carefully designed brand strategy. It sounds wild, but look at the pattern. Whenever they're front and center at major events, ratings spike, headlines explode, and the Recording Academy cashes in. Jay performs, Beyoncé wins, the cameras roll, it's a cycle, and the Carters are always the centerpiece. Even their scandals seem engineered. Remember the infamous elevator footage with Solange? For most couples, that could have been devastating. For the Carters, it only added to their mystique, turning drama into power. That isn't luck. That's brand mastery. But the whispers go darker than music and image. Some allege lives have been destroyed to preserve their empire. Former bodyguard Uncle Ron once claimed he had proof that Jay and Beyoncé sabotaged careers and manipulated events behind the scenes. He publicly vowed to expose them. But before he could release anything substantial, he died of pneumonia. The timing raised eyebrows, fueling speculation that he knew far more than he was ever able to reveal. The Carters, genius strategists or ruthless gatekeepers. And just like that, Uncle Ron was gone. Another voice silenced. The list of names who've called Jay-Z and Beyoncé out is long: Jaguar Wright, DMX, Beanie Sigel, Khalees, Kerry Hilson, and even artists outside of hip-hop have echoed the same warning: don't cross the Carters. Because once you do, you either play along, or you get played. It's a cold game, and Jay and Bey have mastered it. What's even wilder is how the public has been conditioned to overlook it all. Say one negative thing about them, and you're instantly labeled bitter, jealous, or irrelevant. For years, that shield kept the empire untouchable. But now, with 50 Cent and Eminem speaking up, two voices with power, history, and receipts, people are finally listening. This isn't just messy tabloid gossip. These are consistent patterns, testimonies, and stories that line up across decades. So here's the real question: are Jay-Z and Beyoncé simply brilliant strategists who played the industry better than anyone else? Or are they something darker, two people who built a dynasty not by rising alone, but by pushing everyone else down? Either way, the spotlight is shifting. And for once, it's not on a Grammy stage. It's on the truth.